to the Power of One. Today, I will be speaking with two dynamic young adults who are doing amazing things, J. Olivia Darden and Brandon McDonald, along with their mothers. I will also be speaking with Richard Washington, founder and director of the BET agency. BET stands for Bringing Everyone Together. Their mission is to provide youth of Philadelphia with the support of direct services needed to become well balanced, functioning members of society. Welcome, everyone. Richard, we'll begin with you. You are the founder of BET. Please tell me a little bit about the agency and how you've come to work so closely with Jay, Olivia, and Brandon.
Well, again, thank you for having us on your show today. We certainly appreciate you. And our young people, we really love your energy. I know you have supported us. And so we definitely cannot go without saying thank you just to you and your energy and passion for the work. Um,
Thank you.
you're welcome. With that in mind, BET, bringing everybody together, actually started in 94. At least that's the date that we gave it. We were doing the work maybe just a little bit before then. But it started at an elementary school where I just went up there to check on some family members. And years later, it became a program, a mentorship program and speaking to young people and supporting classes. And then from there, it catapulted into a number of things, which even till today, we're not always 100% sure how it happened. It's just the fact that if there's a need, we do the best we can to fill it. Jay, Olivia, and Brandon are certainly, dear to our heart. And BET is an extended family program. So once you become a part of me or become a part of the program, you become a part of an extended family. So, Brandon will say it all the time. He's pretty much like my godson now. Jay, Olivia, we known each other from initially church, where, I met her parents first. And although she may not necessarily live in the area of where Bringing Everybody Together holds most of its programming, she is certainly a very active member and a part of the program. So that's how I got connected with Jay, Olivia, and Brandon through church, and Brandon by being a part of the neighborhood and the school.
That's excellent. That is excellent. Jay, Olivia, and Brandon. And Jay, Olivia, you can go first. Please tell me how old you are and how it was for you doing your first show.
I am 18 years old, currently a college student. When the first show happened, I was kind of nervous because it was like, okay, at first it was gonna be a thing, like a regular show thing, so it was gonna be great. I was like, okay, sure, why not? Let's try it out. And I'm like, oh, this could be a regular thing, because we were all just bored, and we were bored. We're like, we can't just be in the house. We have to be in the house, but we gotta do something about it instead of just being lazing around all day. So why not just talk with the people that we talk to a lot and talk about things that we think? Because everybody's opinion matters, and that's why I feel like why we did this in the first place, because we want our opinions to go out, because nobody really listened to the other side. So I really wanted to, that's why I really, that's how it actually started for me, and like that. And he was like, you want to join? I said, okay, bet I can do something like that, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay. So yeah.
Okay, Brandon.
Well, I'm 13 years old, uh, and my first show for me, it was really exciting. I was really hyped for it because when they gave me the opportunity to be able to talk in front of people, because I'm used to talking in small places and having conversations, but I've never been able to really have my own platform to talk to people, and for me to get the opportunity and be able to communicate with people that I don't know and that I've never seen, and that they're listening to me, and then I'm getting their input on the things that I'm saying, was amazing to me. So yeah, it was really cool.
Okay. So now it has become a job for both of you. So has it become a job, or do you feel as though this is your calling and this is a way for you to reach people your age and of all ages?
I don't think is I don't feel they say it's a job, but I don't feel like it's a job to me because we're just speaking out and we're just talking. Everything is a conversation. That's how we get through life is conversation, and it's like I feel like I'm helping somebody on the way, and I don't need anything to get back from them. And like as long as I know I touched somebody's heart or like made somebody think about something when we said, that's all enough for me because Like it's just there for the community, for the people, and it's just rewarding in a way. Just to know like one day you're talking to somebody like you're regularly talking, you think and they think, oh my gosh, I know I could change my point of view with the way this person talking, and then now I'm gonna live my life a different way, a different path, and that's just it's nice to know when somebody says that to you, like, oh, you mean my life go to a better path because of what you said to me, and people don't remember what they said to them until they repeat it back to what they said. So it's like it's just a rewarding thing for me, honestly.
That's
So
amazing. How about you, Brendan?
Yeah, I kind of said it better than Jay Livia said it, because for me, it's not a job at all. It's more like people sitting there listening to me vent a little bit. It's more uh like you're my friends, listen to me, hearing me out. It's more than just a job or even just a platform for me to talk. It's like I said, you're like my friends and you're hearing me. We're communicating. We got this vibe going. You know what I mean? It's like, let's say we're doing all these things together and you're watching me grow. I'm watching what I'm saying, have you grow as a person. What Mr. Richard is saying, letting you grow as a person. What Jay Livy is saying. Like, it's so inspiring to know that people are actually like to hear what I'm saying, and that's what really keeps me going doing it.
So for David and Brendan and Richard, how do you pick your topics for the week, and is anything off limits?
Well, interestingly enough, just to kind of give you a little foundation of the show itself, and that'll kind of help figure out where the topics came in. As Jay, Olivia, and Brandon said, they were looking for something to do. And it certainly is challenging sometimes being in the house, even as an adult. I like to move, I like to get around. But they were certainly looking for something to do. And Saturdays, at least twice a month, originally it was the youth council meetings on those Saturdays. But because they wanted to actively get involved, and they were looking for, and not particularly all of them, but a few of our young people certainly wanted to have a job over the summer and wanted to do something consistent. So we reached out to a few places, and most of them didn't hear back. But when there's opportunity, we're going to take advantage of it. So thought, hey, well, since we're already here on Saturdays, would you guys like to possibly do a show? And that was with all of our youth council members. Where I'll give Brandon and Jay Olivia the credit is that the very first show was more like an interview for all of our young people who wanted to be host. Brandon and Jay Olivia certainly were the most consistent and were the most prepared. And so at that point, we said to them, hey, if you make it through this, we'll find a way for people as they make donations. We'll put something in your pocket over the summer because you have been committed to each of these Saturdays. So at that point, we weren't sure what the topics were going to be. But we know in the news, we kept hearing about what matters, not just Black Lives Matters, Blue Lives Matters, People Matters. So those are conversation starters. So in our flyer, we, put up some signs that had a little bit of everything. God matters, people matters, education matters. So whatever matters to people are things that we talk about. I would say that Jay, Olivia, and Brandon probably aren't aware of it, but as they talk during the show, and as other young people and adults, because BET Talks is not just for young people, although the young people are hosting it. And because Brandon and Jay, Olivia are very mature, no, there's nothing that we're not willing to talk about. Because you can imagine young people hosting a show about God matters. I think that probably was the most uncomfortable or different one for them. But then they talked about gun violence. They've had the police, on the Zooms, etc. So because of their maturity and because the audience is not just young people, in fact, more people that watch it on Facebook are adults. So there is no topic that we're not willing to do, but that's kind of how it started. And so the topics, usually they don't know until I tell them, but it comes from their conversation. It comes from what's going on in the news, and they pretty much prepare and research when necessary so that they're prepared for whoever comes on the show.
That's awesome. And I know when I was on the show, and then Jay, Olivia, and myself found out that we are both PK, so we're preacher's kids. So that was amazing. And Brandon and Jay, Olivia, when you get a little older and your mom or your dad will tell you about this, sometimes when you're in a certain line of work, certain topics you can't go into for whatever reason. But I was extremely impressed. I was very impressed when we touched on that subject when I came on to speak about crime, and I was just at awe of your maturity and how you looked at things that were going on in the city of Philadelphia and how we touched on that subject. So for Jay, Olivia, and Brandon, are there any topics that make you feel uncomfortable, but you make your way through to help others?
All the topics we've been to so far, they were just interesting. Like I feel like every topic we have is always a touchy subject. Because anything, a conversation, you don't know what the person's going to say. So it's like, oh, is they going to harm me or am I going to be offended or like that? So that's why when we have these topics, we're going to go through different ways and different perspectives. Because some people can be offended, some people can't, and then we can't help with that. This is our opinion, and that's what it's all about. And I think the only thing that made me like a little uncomfortable, I guess it was the religion part. But the thing is, it's just my faith and my faith alone, and it's just everybody has their own faiths, and is I can't help how they feel. I'm just
Right.
saying I'm just saying what my experience is with my faith and my religion. So it's I feel because that is just it's just people say controversy and stuff like that because people think of when think of people think God, they think of sometimes the medieval times when churches or Catholic churches ruled this or the whole system and like that. So people just think that differently. So I had to give them from both sides of the coin. So I feel like that's for when all we do in our talks, because I'm a history geek. I do that a lot. When we talk about other things and like society and stuff like that, I go in right there just from the Notre Dame time, from when it was built down to here, all that stuff. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just that. So it's just that.
Okay. What about you, Brandon?
Um, well, I agree with Jay Livia, and some things I don't agree. I don't feel as though all of our topics are touchy. I feel like some people are uncomfortable about talking about them, but I like to take the things that people aren't comfortable with and make them comfortable, because people have to adapt. And if this year has taught me anything, is that people got to adapt, And I think that by us talk like that first punch was with I believe there was one before God Matters. It was that broke the barrier a little bit in our conversation. We was like, well, if we're talking about that, we can talk about more. So then we start going into Black Lives Matter. What was it? Voting matters. A whole bunch of subjects and a whole bunch of topics that we start talking about, because if we don't talk about it, who will? So we got to make sure that it's getting out there. People know about it. People are aware. So
That's a very, very good point, Brendan. So we have Lisa on the line, who is Brendan's mother, and Siobhan, who is Jay Olivia's mother. So I know both of you are extremely proud of your babies. And when you saw the show, tell me what thoughts came to your mind. Lisa, we can begin with you.
I see this as a starting point for Brandon to come into realizing who he is. Brandon has always been very, very mature for his age, and being in BET and under the tutelage or unofficial tutelage of Mr. Washington, I've watched him, blossom into this young man who can stand up in front of, multiple people, multiple audiences, and speak or sing or and when I first heard him doing the show, I was like, this little guy, he may be going places with this, and I talked to him. I said, Brandon, you speak so very eloquently. Have you thought about going into a career that would entail you being in front of or speaking to larger audiences? So I think this is a platform for him and Jay Livia to show them to themselves that they have the ability to captivate an audience, to start a dialogue on any topic and be able to expound upon that topic to where anyone that's listening, you don't know who you're touching, and you don't know, you're giving them, the audience, the opportunity to speak out on things that concern them. So I just think this is such a wonderful thing for them to have the experience to do, and I am so very, very proud of my Brandon. And Jay Livia, you too. You guys, the maturity is just astounding to me. I really appreciate this program.
That's excellent. Siobhan, what about you?
Yes, I would like to begin to thank you for this opportunity to speak about my child. Oftentimes, as mothers, Lisa, you can concur, no one really consults the parent.
Yeah.
But as we often have instilled in our children to speak your mind and to make sure when you do speak that you're speaking with respect and you also have respect for others. And so having this opportunity that Mr. Richard saw in both of them, Olivia and Brandon, and being able to make the connections, I'm truly grateful for him and his vision and his insight and what he has done with not only my child, but so many children in the Philadelphia area. And so when this opportunity came about, and I'm going to be honest, I looked on the thing and I said, that's my baby on the screen. And then I sit back and hear the topics, hear people from all different, places, from California to just everywhere. It was very exciting. And to also understand that most of them had the heart to actually enrich my child along with Brandon and to encourage them. I was just like, wow, that was awesome for them to, give their resources or whatever, but they also took a moment to instill in my child. And that meant the most to me because it does take a village. And I strongly believe that. And that's all this means to me and to my family, that it's outside of our family that can also help my child build the blocks that she needs in order to be a successful African-American female and to be able to grab at anything that she can imagine, that it is possible given the opportunity. With that said, thank you for this possibility, this moment right here, for them to be able to have the platform to express what the show means to them. And more importantly, there's other people that we will never know, on how they have impacted their lives. And so I understand that you were also a PK kid. And so I must make sure that I end that every day and growing up and seeing her different talents and different things to give the platform for her to be able to succeed. And oftentimes the money is not there for a lot of the things that were, out there. And so being as though that I know with God, all things are possible, that this is one of those possible moments that God has put forth for Brandon and J. Olivia and Mr. Richard to be able to shine in the midst of darkness. And so I'm truly grateful for BET and for Mr. Richard and for the many opportunities that he has given J. Olivia and also Brandon.
That's excellent. I mean, so many things that both of you said, the mom said, like, just gives me chill bumps because my babies, look, I got two young babies. They're 24 and 26, but I call them my babies. And I have nurtured my babies, my husband and I homeschooled my children for their first 3 to 4 years. I understood the importance of loving on my children. I understood the importance of validating my children at home. So when you get out on the street and somebody tell you something, you don't believe the hype. You don't believe the mess. So I took that opportunity in raising my children to love on my children. My oldest son was bullied, and it was a horrible, horrible experience to where it hurt my son to smile. It hurt my son to trust people. So what I did was I had to pull him back out of school, and this was his later years in like 11th and 12th grade. And I printed out scripture from the Bible, and I put it all around his room. And I was communicating with my son every day, talking to my son every day. So he was broken mentally, and I built him back up mentally. So he's amazing. He actually does victim services like I do. So he works with homicide victims. I am very proud of my oldest child, and I'm very proud of my baby. He's 24. So he's a supervisor at Staples in Chestnut Hill, but he does all my graphic design and things of that nature. So moms, I understand it is so great to have babies who are doing amazing things. So I feel you on that. So what I think we need to do, as you said, one of the moms said that it takes a village. So we have to figure out how we can touch and how we can reach and how we can hug those children that are not as blessed as we are, as our children are, to have the mother and have the father and have the Mr. Richard who would love on them like we do. So we have to be able to reach out to them. So Richard, tell us how viewers can watch J. Olivia and Brendan, watch their show, and most importantly, tell them how they can donate to the show.
Oh, sure. Thank you. Very much. And to both of the parents, Lisa and Siobhan, thank you for, again, trusting me to work with them and mold them, because, again, we are in this together. And thank y'all for holding me accountable, too, because we need that, too. So I certainly appreciate that. And I must say thank you to J. Olivia and Brandon, too, because although they are children, they hold us all accountable, and they make sure that we're ready and prepared as well. And it is their energy and their passion that drives what we do. So we'll continue to do that as long as we can. And Melany, you are certainly a part of that extended family too. So thank you for wrapping your arms around them and the rest of our young people with BET. We can be reached, first of all, our website is www.mybetfamily.com. That's MYBET, as in bringing everybody together, family.com. And so wanted you to recognize that we call it My BET Family because it's yours also. We want you to take that personal. And then also we can be reached on Instagram and Twitter. All of our social media tags are My BET Family. If people want to donate, again, they can go to the website and there is a donate button. They can also Cash App, which is $ My BET Family. They can give us a call or email. The number is 267-688-3783. Again, 267-688-3783. And our email address is info@mybetfamily.com. info@mybetfamily.com. And me directly, if necessary, is rwashington@mybetfamily.com. And I just want to put this note in there, if you don't mind, Melany, to the people you work with. We are going to be looking for someone, whether it's a university student, someone who's already doing videos, et cetera, who don't mind taking on an extra volunteer project. I record each of the shows, but I'm hoping to find somebody who would mind maybe taking those shows and doing a promo video for BET and specifically for J. Olivia and Brandon, so they can put it out there because they do an excellent job. So hint, hint, if anyone out there is willing to do something like that, please reach out to us because I think that would be great for them.
And I'm sure someone will reach out. Jay, Olivia, and Brendan, I want to commend you on the great work that you are doing. Keep up the good work. And know sometimes it may get hard, but that's when you have to press on even more. You have a great support system. I'm here for you. So anything you need from me, you can just give me a call and I'll be more than happy to help. But I want you to know that I am so proud of you and keep up the good work. You could be the one to change the world. The power of one starts with both of you. Thank you to all my guests and thank you so much for joining me today. There are many amazing young children and many amazing young adults doing positive things in the city of Philadelphia. Take the time to highlight their achievements. Take the time to shine light on their efforts. And most importantly, take the time out to tell them that you are proud of them and that you love them. Be blessed and be safe.